Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you. Kevin, please.
Good afternoon, Mr Mayor and councillors. I worked in local government for 35 years, specialising in information systems and in governance and meeting procedures. Prior to that, I worked in the private sector, including civil engineering contracting. Today, my submission relates to these topics: rating system, the rating system for water rates and the UAGC, LIMS and CCOs. You may have read the report from the New Zealand Infrastructure Commission in February, which asked what New Zealanders think is a fair way to pay for infrastructure. 72% said how much the householder uses. Christchurch City is the only council in New Zealand charging solely by capital value. There appears to be no reference in the LTP to the options of a uniform charge or charging by metre. It appears that there has been a 10% saving in water use with the introduction of excess water charges. All meters are being read, i.e. not charging by this method, and saving what could be a further 20% reduction in water usage. Sewer and land drainage should also be charged on a uniform charge. I've attached to my submission samples of properties selected on a random basis, which shows a difference between the lower and higher property samples of almost $1,000 for 3 waters. The UAGC, what is it? $197. How can you submit on something that has no meaning? What is uniformly consumed by the inhabitants of the community? It needs to be stated. LIMS, I first raised this question in 2018, and no response has been made to justify the surplus in excess of $1 million from the Land and Surface Property Information Services budget. In 2018, the draft plan proposed an increase from $280 to $320. This, at that time, was only increased to $290, where it's been since that time. Enabled Services Limited is not a significant activity, as there are other contractors able to do this work. This company should be sold. Having shares in a company, Enabled Services City Care Limited, does not make them a significant activity. You are hiding behind a section of the Local Government Act, which you have used to hide these assets away to ensure no useful purpose can be made by submitters asking you to sell these assets. Council-controlled organisations should be working within the city boundaries, and a request should be made to CCHL to bring the activities within the city boundaries in the next 5 years. City Care has depots in Auckland, Clutha, Dunedin, Greytown, Masterton, New Plymouth, Palmerston, North Stratford, Tauranga, Timaru, Waikato and Wellington. Bring it home. Having spent the last 2 seasons privileged to be one of the volunteers welcoming cruise ship visitors, it has been delightful to hear the compliments, not only from them but other visitors and locals, on how great the city is looking in the 21st century. It's a shame, in my opinion, that the council continues with a 20th century rating system. Thank you, Mr Mayor and councillors, for the time you take to make this city a better place to live.
Thank you very much. Aaron, have you got a question?
No, he covered it off by the end.
Okay, has anyone else got a question?
Actually, I will do it. Is on your water one saying that we're the only one charging on capital value? What should our charging system be? volumetric?
Yes,
Yeah, because then it's the same for everyone. If you use too much, you pay more.
absolutely. And you'll get a saving is the more important thing.
Right, because,
I mean, it's only going to be $500 or $600 per household.
yeah,
And you're making a mockery of the rating system.
yeah, I've got residents in my ward paying 3,500 for water. So
So just to clarify what Aaron's saying, that's right from the first drop, no free amount for, yeah, okay. I understand what you're saying. And yes, because other areas do charge from the first drop, and we're one of the few that don't. Thank you very much for your submission. That's wonderful. Okie dokie. Annabelle.